Let me guess, you used one of these today, didn't you? Maybe to reheat that questionable coffee from this morning, defrost some chicken, or just nuke a bag of popcorn. It's that ordinary kitchen box, a tool of convenience we barely even think about. But what if I told you that the heart of this machine, the thing that makes it all work, began its life as a top-secret weapon, and that its journey into your home started in the darkest days of World War II, as a game-changing tool in the hunt for enemy planes? This isn't just the story of an appliance. It's a story about a war for the skies, a melted candy bar, and a happy accident that would revolutionize not just warfare, but the modern world itself. This is the incredible, almost unbelievable story of the microwave oven. So, how in the world did a weapon of war end up next to your toaster? To answer that, we need to set the time circuits to the early 1940s. Europe is on fire. For Great Britain, things are, let's just say, not great. Night after night, the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, unleashes waves of bombers, their engines a terrifying drone in the dark. Cities are burning, and the entire nation is holding its breath. The British had a trick up their sleeve: radar. And in case you're ever on jeopardy, that's an acronym for radio detection and ranging. Think of it like a bat's sonar, but with radio waves instead of sound. You shout a radio signal into the dark, and by listening to the echo that bounces back, you can map out what's out there, its location, distance, and speed. But there was just one tiny problem. Early radar was, well, terrible. It was clunky, imprecise, and huge. These systems used long wavelengths, which was like trying to spot a single bird at night using a huge wide-beam floodlight. You might see a whole flock of bombers, but smaller targets, like the periscope of a German U-boat, were nearly invisible. The antennas were massive, sometimes spanning hundreds of feet. Ever tried strapping one of those to a fighter plane? Me neither. The Allies were fighting a war of shadows, and they desperately needed a way to see better. They needed a source of short, powerful radio waves, microwaves. The trouble was, nothing existed that could generate them with enough power. The technology just wasn't there. A breakthrough was needed, and fast. No pressure, right? The answer didn't come from some top-secret military bunker. Nope, it came from a place of quiet, academic research. In 1940, at the University of Birmingham in England, two physicists named John Randall and Harry Boot were given a monumental task: build something that could generate powerful microwaves. Working under insane pressure, they took an existing, much weaker technology called a magnetron and completely reimagined it. Their invention was the Cavity Magnetron, a device that even today is a marvel of engineering. The best way to think of it is as a high-tech whistle, but instead of using your breath to create a sound wave, the magnetron uses a stream of electrons and a powerful magnet to whip up a storm of powerful microwaves. It's like a tiny, controlled tornado for radio waves. Way cooler, right? The result was an absolute game-changer. Randall and Boot's prototype was small, light, and 100 times more powerful than anything that came before it. It was the technological miracle the Allies had been praying for. But Britain, battered and broke from the war, didn't have the industrial power to mass-produce it. So in September of 1940, a group of British scientists traveled to the US on a top-secret mission. They carried a locked briefcase containing Britain's most vital scientific secrets. What do you think was in it? Gold? Jewels? The Queen's secret scone recipe? Nope. At the top of the list was a single cavity magnetron. One American historian later called its contents the most valuable cargo ever brought to our shores. The Americans immediately got it. Companies were handed contracts to start cranking out the device, and one of those companies was a Massachusetts-based firm named Raytheon. The Cavity Magnetron was a complete game-changer. It let the Allies build small, powerful radar sets that could be installed in night fighter planes and warships. For the first time, they could hunt U-boats effectively and guide bombers with pinpoint accuracy. That little invention from Birmingham gave the Allies a decisive edge, helping turn the tide of the war. All right, fast forward. The war ends. The world breathes a collective sigh of relief. The factories that had been churning out magnetrons are now facing an uncertain future. And this is where our story pivots from global conflict to a single moment of pure accidental discovery. The man at the center of it all is Percy Spencer, a brilliant self-taught engineer at Raytheon. This guy, Percy Spencer, was a certified genius. Orphaned as a child, he left school at 12 and basically taught himself advanced physics and engineering while working in mills. What were you doing at 12? I think I was trying to figure out how to beat a video game. During the war, he became one of Raytheon's top experts, boosting magnetron production from 17 a day to over 2,600. One day in 1945, Spencer was walking past a magnetron being tested. He stopped for a second and noticed something gooey. The candy bar in his pocket was melting. Now, what would you do? You'd probably be mad about your pants, right? But Percy Spencer was not most people. He wasn't the first person to notice that microwaves create heat, but he was the first to stop and ask, I wonder what else I can do with this, instead of just, "Aw man, my snack is ruined." His curiosity was officially sparked. He sent a kid out for a bag of popcorn kernels. Holding the bag near the magnetron, he watched in amazement as the kernels started to twitch, dance, and explode into fluffy white popcorn. Can you imagine the look on his face? This was cooking without fire. His next experiment was, let's say, a little more dramatic. He placed a whole egg near the device. An intrigued colleague leaned in for a closer look just as the egg, its internal pressure rapidly building, blew up right in his face. Bet he didn't see that coming. Through these messy but vital tests, Spencer Anderson had confirmed his hunch. Microwaves could cook food, and they could do it shockingly fast. He quickly refined the idea, building a simple metal box to trap the energy, essentially, a cage for the microwaves. This forced the waves to bounce around inside, concentrating all their cooking power on whatever was placed in their path. He had just created the world's first true microwave oven. On October 8, 1945, Raytheon filed a patent for a method of treating foodstuffs. The secret weapon of war, all thanks to a melted candy bar and one very unfortunate egg, was about to get a second life. Raytheon, of course, saw Spencer's discovery and heard a giant cha-ching. In 1947, the company unveiled the world's first commercial microwave oven. They held an employee contest to name it, and the winning entry was perfect: the radar range. But if you're picturing the compact box on your countertop, think again. The first radar range was an absolute monster. It stood nearly 6 feet tall and weighed about 750 pounds. That's like trying to stuff a grizzly bear into your kitchen. It also cost around $5,000, which in today's money is about $70,000. Would you pay 70 grand for a microwave? Let me know in the comments. It also had to be water-cooled just to stop it from overheating. Because of its colossal size and cost, the radar range wasn't for you and me. Its first customers were restaurants, railroad cars, and ocean liners. Have you ever wondered why your grandparents probably didn't have a microwave growing up? This is why. The real mid-1960s. In 1965, Raytheon bought a home appliance company called Amana. 2 years later, in 1967, they introduced the first popular countertop radar range. It was smaller, ran on a standard outlet, and at a price of $495. Still a splurge, but no longer requiring you to sell a kidney to afford one. Throughout the 70s, as technology got better and safety standards eased public fears, prices started to drop. Japan's Sharp Corporation introduced a turntable in 1966, which solved the problem of food cooking unevenly. Before the turntable, the microwaves would create lava-hot pockets right next to frozen ones. The turntable was like putting the food on a tiny merry-go-round, ensuring every part got its fair share of the heat. By the 1980s, the revolution was complete. The descendant of a top-secret weapon of war was now a standard, almost essential part of the modern kitchen, right next to the avocado green blender. So the next time you push a button and watch your sad leftover pizza spin back to life, take a second to think about the incredible journey that little box has taken. It's a journey that started in the desperate skies over World War II, powered by an invention designed to hunt submarines and enemy bombers. A journey that took a bizarre, accidental turn thanks to a curious engineer and a melted chocolate bar. It's an amazing reminder that history is hiding everywhere, in the most ordinary objects all around us. The story of the microwave shows how wartime necessity can spark innovations that echo for generations, and how a single moment of accidental discovery can change the way the entire world eats. If you found this slice of hidden history interesting, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the secret origins of everyday things. And let us know in the comments, what other common object has a backstory you've always been curious about? The toaster? The blender? That weird spiral egg slicer thingy? Every picture has a tale, and we're here to frame it. Subscribe to Backstory Frames for more hidden history. Thanks for watching.